How's that? Ah, I'm sorry. Dang. I just explained a whole bunch of stuff there for the last, what was it, 10 minutes. Okay, I'll try to start over. Um, maybe I'll just. Is the music better, by the way? If I can get some feedback. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's about a 10-second delay from when you guys type things and what's actually happening on the screen. So, okay. Alright, I guess I gotta go back. That's okay. Okay, so the point of this, I don't know, I guess live stream is, let me scroll back here, is I'm going to basically show you guys how you can see in real time, just using a basic chart, using Sierra chart, how you can see orders that sweep several levels of the book, right? Just visually. Okay, so a lot of folks actually sell you chart books and stuff. Um, and it's pretty expensive. Some of the things that these guys are selling, it's pricey, and all the tools are in Sierra Chart for folks to see orders that sweep the book. So here we have at 9:37:08, and you could probably, if you have Sierra Chart, replay this and look back in time and sales, and then add time, okay, and then make sure that the time shows in the time and sales settings, include milliseconds and microseconds in time. Okay, just if you want to confirm what I'm saying. Okay, and then do not combine the records. Okay, so here, what this little section of the chart here is showing, excuse me, I'm gonna kind of zoom in a little bit. Should probably use my zoom tool, but okay, so right here, this green line corresponds to a study called Best Bid Ask, or let's see, is it Bid and Ask Prices? It's this one here that I'm highlighting. Okay, so the green is the best bid, and the red is the best ask. Okay, and here these green circles are ask trades or big buys in the market. Okay, so and that's using this study here, large volume trade indicator. Okay, and you can set this however you want. I've got mine set to, let's see, volume threshold of 10, right? So I want this to show me any order larger than 10. Okay, and basically, when you set this best bid ask study up and overlay it, this white line here is the current price on close after every volume of 100. Okay, so what I'm just showing here is that the best bid and ask didn't actually move. It didn't change, while price moved up 1, 2, 3, 4 ticks. Okay, and just logically, if you think about the best bid and ask not filling in, it's because there were large orders, as you could see by this indicator, that swept several levels of the book, and the bid and ask could, because this order was higher in the queue, it's first in, first out, and on the CME, it's going to fill every single ask all the way up to where it finally finishes. And so, as you can see here, the best bid and ask don't actually move this whole time, because this order in real time is filling several levels of the book. So it's one way to actually show orders that sweep several levels of the book. Okay. Again, you can look at your time and sales and see that that this is showing the hour, minutes, seconds, and then seconds down to what, 6 decimal places. And so orders that sweep several levels, they tend to be large, right? And then the difference tends to be like one, I don't know what that is. Gosh, it's been too long since I've taken a math class, but this last number here tends to be one apart, okay? Because it does take time to match and then, get to another tick. Okay, so this is just one visual way to look at aggression on when you're like using order flow. And again, I'll go into the I'm just noobing it up with the mixing the audio. I didn't. It was quiet in my headphones, but the actual mixer was too loud. I'll even turn it down more. Yeah, we'll just turn it off. Let's see. Okay. So anyway, this large, what was I talking about? The large volume trade indicator. If you have a draw volume text here, it won't use transparency, so make sure you keep that off. Otherwise, it's just, I don't know, it looks terrible. Even if you say transparent or something, it's transparent actual text against a solid background. See that? So, in my opinion, yeah, it tells you how big the trades were, which maybe some people find useful. But I prefer the transparency. So that's just one little settings. A lot of folks struggle with that. I did at first, so go back to none. And then now you can, in the subgraphs, use the transparency setting for the circles. Right. So let's go 55. I think it's a little bit better here. Maybe even 50%. Let's see. Okay. So, and then you want the bid and ask prices study. That's super vanilla, super easy study. And just set the colors as you like. Okay. And then the market depth historical graph. That's really just for kind of the heat map that I have up here, right? And so this is what the colors look. You could set it to however you like, but and then of course if you've got like a really highly liquid market, right, where there's a lot of 300 or 400 lots, you just change the highest quantity for color. You move it up or down just based on the largest um, size in the market. So right now there's a 791 lot up here at 3860. So if I hit apply on this 600 setting, right, it's gonna change the background a little bit, right? So all these 235, 202 are gonna be like light blue, okay? Because it's basically just setting the range for the color gradients. So just set this to 500, right? It works for today. You can kind of mess around with it, right? So now you can kind of see the heat map a little bit, right? And yeah, you tend to see some patterns, or kind of combining this with larger levels. You see how price typically reacts, or how traders come in with size and price moves away from certain areas. Like another thing is you got to remember that a lot of platforms only show 10 levels deep on each side. So the vast majority of retail traders aren't going to see these big lots until they get 10 ticks away. And then when they do get 10 ticks away, they're going to freak out and say, "Oh, I'm going to sell." Right? If they're long, let's say they're long from here, right? And they're weak short-term hands, right? So how many ticks is this from the 772 lot? Did retail get a glimpse of this? Probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And where was the high? Somewhere in here. So they got 9 ticks away, saw the 770, said, "Fuck, I'm out of here. This is too much for me." Um, we're too close to the 3860 that a lot of popular Twitter accounts are at, and so hey, short-term selling. Right? It's not very volatile, so you get 8 ticks or something out of reading the market in that way. But it is useful. Let's see. The chart itself is just line on close. Okay, make sure I keep this settings. Volume per bar, and then sorry, it's stair step on close. I thought it was line on close. Yeah, so that'll help you to kind of see this line this way. And then I control all my chart graphics and global graphics, and then all new charts just use that. And so as far as the color, but you could go into your chart settings. Oops, sorry. Chart. Can you guys see that? Yeah, okay. Like graphics settings chart, and make the settings, the color settings that you're going to use for this chart only for this chart by deselecting this here. Okay. But I just use the global settings because I'm pretty consistent across all chart types. So anyway, I figured that might be kind of cool for some people to see in terms of showing multiple levels of the book clearing. That's the exception, not the rule in the E-mini. Of course, when there's volatility, you'll see the best bid and ask. It'll go flat here, and if there was a big buy, it'll move 3-4 points, and then foomp, it'll come up, and then someone's clearing several levels of the book, right? And that just often what ends up happening, right, when that happens is you get a little bit of instant retracement, like to here or something, and that's where scalpers come in, and if the rate of change is too high on a really, really short time frame, they scalp a few ticks. But again, that's dangerous based on where the market might be coming from. So anyway, I've been playing around a lot with this lately, thinking about how to reconstruct my own tape to show how buyers or sellers can take out several levels of the book. So I thought people might benefit from me sharing this information. So anyway, if you guys have any questions or something, now would be a good time to ask before I get distracted over here by GameStop. I've been day trading this thing all day. This thing is GameStop is it's doing all the usual fake out moves that stocks do when institutions have retail traders by the balls. So that's where I'm most comfortable. Yeah, I don't mind scalping some of the huge volatility moves, but I'm typically in and out and don't catch much of the move. I've been like 100% profitable on my trades with GameStop, and when it starts moving in what I consider more predictable ways, right? Lots of little fake outs. So I'm just real familiar with the usual way that stocks move and the way that market makers play the stocks. So it's been a fun one for me. Do I use that chart only for scalping? No, I actually use it. I do use it a little bit for scalping, but I use it to look at how price reacts around certain major levels, as well as like intraday levels, right? And so, at a short-term top, you'll often see a stop rip through 2 or 3 or 4 points, right? And so it's good to know if what was happening at a certain level was because um, of a stop or someone aggressively buying, and then that along with say like footprint or something, seeing a shit ton of absorption and recognizing that, hey, short-term price, move this 3 or 4 points past a major level of resistance, but then the volume tapered off. So I guess this Bookmap style chart can kind of help you uh, see some of the local exhaustion, and then you can flip over to the book footprint chart and then just start to see what's actually happening with contracts at each level. So right, like right here. So anyway, I don't want to give anybody any signals or anything right now, but that's what I would use anyway. I mean, responding to Nando B's question, can it give signals for when a bigger move is about to happen? For instance, if you want to go long or short of a level, do you look at the chart for something? So let's say there's a classical chart pattern, a rising wedge or something, and we haven't had a huge impulse, but we know that a lot of traders, when they see rising wedges, like to short. Okay, if we see at the top of the trend line of the rising wedge, we see a really aggressive buying, and then that buying is instantly, um, the selling is instantly absorbed at that level, right? You might recognize that, hey, a lot of traders are going to be shorting this, and maybe you can go long. And so, like using the Bookmap chart, you can see, hey, there were an order or orders that cleared like several levels of the book, right? The bid ask didn't move. And then as soon as it got to here, you look at your footprint, and the footprint shows a shit ton of absorption. Well, all those shorts didn't get anywhere, right? And you see a bunch of, like, let's say the imbalance goes to like 30 or 40% of like just pure absorption. Um, and like the preceding move, like looking at a bar chart, right? This is kind of an example here. Let's say this move was started from here, and then we got this kind of action, and then it went, I don't know, a little bit sideways here, and then it popped up here, right? On volume, and it just took several levels of the book. And then as soon as the selling came in, the profit taking came in, or the shorts or whatever, you looked at your footprint. The footprint might show like just a bunch of absorption. Well, then that move is more likely to be a successful breakout. So I do use it in those kind of scenarios. Hopefully that answers your question. And then it does tend to, or it, using Bookmap like this in extended trading hours, the Globex session, a big buyer or seller do tend to either be dominant, right, or punished. It's like it creates volatility either way. So it's not it's not simple or just linear like the buyers win or the sellers. It's a lot of it just depends on the context, but it can be really useful for Globex because at different times during regular trading hours, the volumes are going to change. You have volume spikes at different times. And so you'll have to be really quick with adjusting your chart for the volume differences. 10 minutes before the close, this is all going to be uh, this is all going to be orange or something like that. So you do have to make changes to the chart. I'm going to step away here. I need to drink some water. Hey Rick, I'm back. Oh, so you just let's see here real quick. So in Windows, you just right click, go to personalized, and then click on themes. And then you would just install a theme. The one I installed was Penumbra 10. Okay. And that one installs like a white theme, and I think a silver theme. But the Penumbra 10 without any W or S on the end is a dark theme. And you have to install, just follow the directions when you find Penumbra. It'll be on something like DeviantArt or something. You want to install, I can't remember what it's called. It's something like Ultra UX Patcher or something like that. You just want to install that first and then install the theme, and then it'll adjust all of the windows, background windows, etc. And so that'll then apply to some of the main windows. Hold on, I have so many screens up right now. I make sure that I don't show something that I don't mean to show because I'm using, capture my centered display, not the Sierra chart source, so that you guys can see things like when I bring up settings and stuff like that. So right up here, that theme will control a lot of these colors, okay? But then within Sierra chart, right, you got to go to global settings, graphics settings, global, and then you just have to monkey around with, um, all of the various colors to get it looking how you want. So that took me some time, but I did do. It was probably a 5 or 6 minute video for someone, and it's somewhere on my Twitter, which is open again because I had so many people asking me again, people that I've DM'd over the years, like, hey, can you just open it up so that I could see all of your old posts because I want to reread some of them. So I was like, okay, I'll just open it up, but don't expect me to respond to intraday commentary and stuff like that. I just have too many projects going, and I need to get rid of all the distraction. So anyway, I did a video for him where I scrolled through every single one of these and just basically told him, hey, some of these won't affect some of the things that'll make it perfect dark theme because I've made changes, and then some of the things are enabled, or I don't use those functions in Sierra chart, or whatever, but just tinker with it. It'll get you close. So somewhere on my Twitter, there is that, and it's probably a good three, maybe a month ago, um, that I did a little video for that guy and just scrolled through, and so he could copy and pause the screen and all of that. So anyway, pretty simple. Yeah, no problem, Rick. No problem. Yeah, the only reason I'm on today is like I've made my money, so, and I'm tired. I've got a little mental fatigue going on, and it's really cold outside, and I don't feel like running, which would probably recharge me short term. I've got a yoga mat behind me with a bunch of workout equipment, but I don't know. I'm just having a lazy day, so I would rather talk. And I've been working on automating my trading, so that just takes all my time, along with the dozens of unfinished books on trading. So I'm just like, I'm at a point where I've got to focus on myself. So that's why I'm just got to shut it down, man. It becomes too overwhelming. Anyway, that's. Oh, you're in New York. No, I'm in California, man. I'm a pansy. It's like maybe 40, 45 degrees outside. So it's not that cold. I grew up near Mount Hood in Oregon. Um, so I don't know. I would just say the last 15, 20 years I've gotten spoiled with California weather. Now 40 degrees, I bitch and moan. So that's all it is. But yeah, New York has gotten some pretty wicked snowstorms. I recently ordered a Pico jacket from Chicago, and the gal, she was like delayed one day on one of our interactions, and she said that they had to shut down because of a snowstorm. So the rest of the country is getting hit, man. Yeah, on these settings, I usually just combine with same time. I'm sorry, same price and type. I think that's nice. With time and sales, that tends to show you order flow a little bit better, right? Number of trades, volume, so you know that some size came in on the sell side here. And it's just aggregating it, right? A little bit of size, more size on the sell side. And you could see it a little bit here with Bookmap. What is it, 12:20 or 3:20 Eastern? So yeah, and period incoming. So we're gonna get some size here, positioning for the last half hour. Looks kind of ugly, doesn't it? Look at those deltas. We've been having sells into the close, but we've got potentially a nice little ramp going here. We've got this low volume node here, this little volume ledge. You see this bar here? Let's see, I'll zoom in. All right, see this bar here? So we had this breakout. A lot of folks this will be a signal bar for a lot of folks, and they'll go short. So did a lot of people stop here? Yes. But this probably trapped some traders, and you know how people are, they like to average down. So today we've had some sideways action up here. Chop some of those guys out here. deltas lately have not been very useful, so I've been largely ignoring them. They are useful in telling us that the book is thinner, but it's been thicker today. So, more traders showing their hands on the books as opposed to the recent spike in volatility. So, I happen to think that we are going to push up before the close. Go get some stops. Who knows? Last 10 minutes. That's anyone's call. Follow Mr. Topstep and see what he says for that. Oh, nice. Yeah. Mount Hood is very nice. California's air is nasty. I'm in the Central Valley in California. I was in San Diego for the last year, a little over a year, and that was nice, but we were too far away from family, so we moved back to the Central Valley. I've got 3-year-old and godchildren here, nieces and nephews, and my kid's got all his aunts and uncles and grandparents here, so it makes more sense to be close to them, especially as my wife's parents are quite a bit older right now, or they're in their 70s and their health isn't great, so having the kid close to the grandparents is good for him and good for them. So, but the air quality here is just it is something to behold, my friend. Look at all these negative deltas in here, man. That imbalance is crazy. I don't know. I tend to think that with a book as thick as it is today, we're going to push up. But I don't know. I'm not a. Over the last 4 or 5 years, if you look at my track record for the close, it's like 50-50 if I'm going to make a call every single day. I mean, there are certain good setups, but this is not one of them. So if you put a gun to my head, I would say up. That red bookmap style background completely covers the deltas. That's one reason I should use I like a different color for that. Maybe I should do like, not purple. I don't know what color. What makes sense? Not dark blue. Yeah, I don't know. Daniel, if you rewind the video, I did give Rick the how-to. Also, pro tip on the patch, I don't even know what it's called, Ultra UX Patcher or something. I don't know, something like that. Again, when you search for Penumbra 10, as part of the instructions, you'll see that the patch has to be installed first. So when you update Windows, sometimes for whatever reason, that patch has to be reinstalled. So that happened to me a few times. So whenever you do a Windows update, just reinstall that patch and then everything will work fine. But I haven't had any issues with that Penumbra 10 and this consistently working, except for that Ultra UX Patcher or whatever it's called. So little low volume node right here at 52. Such a slow moving day. Yeah, 52.25. But if we push past 51, you might get a little bounce around 47, 48. But that would put longs underwater for sure. I just think shorts are going to suffer today. But if you based it off of all the previous closes, I'd be wrong. Again, I'm not no money in the game right now, so made my money trading GameStop. There are a ton of shortable shares available on interactive brokers with GameStop. So there are what ends up happening, okay, is that when folks are buying the dip, by default, the shares that they buy the dip with become available as shortable shares. So there's a ton of volume transacting here, and people are buying and they're holding. So those shortable shares are just back in the market. So what ends up happening a lot of times is once folks start to short a big decline like this, it grinds sideways, 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 and then it just it keeps falling to different levels, and then you get a short squeeze in usually a day or two. So on my main day trading account, I'm not long GameStop, but on a smaller swing trading account at TDA, I am actually long from 62. I've just been buying a small number of shares all the way down. So I don't know, my average is probably like 57, 58, 59, something like that. I don't even know. It's such a small quantity. Risk is so small. I would never put like a whole account on it or even 10% of an account on that kind of play. But it's just common enough that I'm willing to risk that we get a little bit of rotation. too many folks are piling in on the short side while all these uh, Wall Street bettors are dumping dumping their savings. It's a sad thing, but man, these kind of boom bust cycles are what makes the market go round and makes them fun for me. My biggest takeaway from trading crypto the last 4 years is probably uh, that I guess essentially this time ain't different. That the markets are old and the same cycles go on, have been going on since Jesse Livermore and before traded, right? Tulip mania, all that stuff. Supply and demand is supply and demand is the IP charting platform. It is horrible. I thought of trying to integrate interactive brokers with Sierra Chart, but every thread I've read on Sierra Chart's forum, Sierra Chart says it's not a great idea. So no, I just use Sierra Chart for futures. And then I chart on Thinkorswim and I trade mainly on interactive brokers. So for execution, interactive brokers for me is, uh, I don't know, just several magnitudes better than uh, a lot of other things out there. The the matching engine is good, but I'm using IBKR Pro, so of course I'm paying commissions. Like I think it's like $100 per 100 shares or something. But with the size that I trade, I save a lot more money over, I don't know, executing on Thinkorswim, where I often won't get a fill, and on interactive brokers I get great fills on limit orders. So, and then if you have to market out of something, stops, my stop fills on interactive brokers they just tend to be a lot better. Same thing with options and stuff like that. So the whole free commissions thing it's not really free. And I confirmed with Thinkorswim. There was a manager that I called because I wasn't getting any executions on SPY after hours. I could buy but not sell, and so the market makers that they partner with uh, were not willing to fill my sell orders. And so I had a long conversation. I was pretty pissed, and they confirmed, yep, we do after hours use certain market makers that we partner with, and they may choose not to buy your order. I said, that is such bullshit. So yeah, I had a video and everything of it. It was like I was buying 10 shares of SPY. I probably should have just done one. I don't know why I did 10, but I was buying 10 shares of SPY, and I could buy, and then I just couldn't sell, and then the ticker was going above my asks, and so they tried to give me a bullshit answer, and then I sent them the manager the video, and he's like, "Oh, we apologize for that, blah blah blah. Well, here's what actually happens," and that's what I just explained. So I was like, you know what? See you guys. That's ridiculous. So Robinhood does that just to the nth degree with their market makers. So yeah, I have a friend that trades only on Robinhood, and I said, you know what? Try buying a share, right, at the market, and we'll execute at the same time. And there's all kind of delays. He paid $3 or $4 higher than what I did. We were both using our mobile apps, and so I said, yeah. So for that one share, yeah, I paid $1, and you paid nothing, but essentially I saved $3 over your execution price. Now amplify that over 100 shares, and you could see why I don't use Robinhood or any of these free brokers. For swing trading, for investing, that's fine. But for day trading and whatnot, you're better off using something like, what is that? Speed. Oh gosh, I've used it before. What is it called? Speed Trader or something like that? That's a good one. There's a lot of other good ones out there, but for IB, I'll trade futures on there from my phone or whatever. And they've treated me well. There's a lot of markets that I can trade on that, so I like the flexibility of that. So. And then for a while there, I was trading a lot of options. And Interactive Brokers executes each leg on each leg of the option independently, so it goes and searches for the best match. So I tended to get better fills on my options trading through Interactive Brokers. So it would make up for I think there was a slight difference in pricing between that and say like Tasty Trade. So, but again, that's only if you're trading a lot of options and if you're scalping them, and if a few bucks times however many number of contracts matters. So. those deltas up there. In this TPO chart, the outline is volume, and the bars are delta. And then the shaded part is the TPO value area, and then this greenish color on the volume outline is the volume value area. So just an FYI there. You know, M loves to take out stops. Just would not be surprised to see us shoot down here. And then close strong. For the first time in, I don't know, however many days. When's the last time we closed on highs? It's been a while. I think, what, over a week? Maybe. Let's see, where's my high time frame? There it is. Like on the highs. I guess near highs. I don't know, I just see us punching through this 60 area today. This is such a, unlike on the daily time frame, this is such a short trap here. Look at that volume we sold off on right here on this bar. So volume, what, 2.7 million contracts. Then the next day rallying on less volume. And then the next day another rally, and then a little bit of consolidation on, again, decreased volume. And now here we are at 52, 53, 54, near all-time high resistance. But just given the day today, the path of most pain is probably up. 1, 2, this will be the third time at this level. You know, with triple tops, triple bottoms, a lot of folks say, oh, that's, you know, if it's a bottom, they say, oh, triple bottom. But when I see something hit for the third time, after 2 times, I'm thinking, well, the price has gone down there again. It has a higher probability of exploring below that level. So that's, we're at a point where we're at a short term, like if you had an hourly chart, it would look like a triple top, right? But because of this sell volume here, I think it was a trap. And the T+2s, they're all well underneath us. Where are they? Oh, let's see on our bar chart. T+2, 38.18. Right? So if you're an institution and you had shares settle today, you got all kinds of margin to play with here. Yeah, they might take profit, but they are in control. Buyers are in control. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens at the close. If we get another sell into the close, then we'll probably push up the next few days. It's just been talked about that we aren't closing on highs every day, and so I think a lot of when it becomes obvious, traders try to do the obvious, and then the market does the opposite. Not very quantifiable, I know, but nor scientific, but it's what I think. still screaming to the downside, but price hasn't moved very much. Our point of control is right here, 54 and a half. Is it significant? I don't know. Yeah, it's fairly significant. Man, just so much absorptive volume. The books are thick, volatility's not high. Oh, there goes GameStop, 54. I want to see a capitulation event on GameStop, like a 5 minute bar that's like, I think the highest today is 1.34 million contracts. I want to see like a 2 million or something on a 5 minute bar near the close. Just all these kids that bought. Well, not just kids. Just all these folks that bought the 300 say like, I give up. I just poop on the price, and then I'll buy it. They do have some sort of conference coming up mid-February, so I'll buy it for, I don't know, 15 or 30% scalp, something like that. Like a swing trade, but a short-term swing trade, in and out. And if it bounces after hours, like $20, I'd be out. Interactive Brokers does this weird thing with the volume bars, where the volume bars uh, extend as like a maximum of the volume bar region when there's a lot of volume transacting, but it's not actually accurate. It's really annoying. IB's charting is terrible. Oh, there's the rally. Look at that. Look at the deltas hardly even changing. They're fucked. Let's go look at the Bookmap here. No, just not even clearing several levels. Just buying. Just buying it up. Hitting the ask consistently. 17 minutes until the close. Yeah, actually not. Hmm. Right up to the top of the value area there. So now we get to learn something about longs. Are they trapped? Are they feeling heat? Right? Point of control here. Looks like it. Didn't even break the high. That kind of move you would expect. Well, we have a new 5 minute bar. Let's see. You would expect the high to break on. And then the pullback to come to maybe here, and then boom. Right back to the upside, and a little pullback. Then you get a little bit more of a momentum type move. So, eh, not not great for the longs. Wow, look at Sava today. SAVA. That's nuts. Yeah, I should have played it. I wanted to buy the 69 handle. I said, that would have been nice. It went from 69 to 79. I probably would have sold right into 69. Half off at 73 or 74, and then into 79, and it went to 81 on the bounce. I just like using the moving averages, the 10 SMA and 20 SMA. They're so gold for getting in and out of positions, especially if you time bottoms well, which I tend to. I'm good at seeing capitulation, so my entries tend to be really good. So I tend to sell into the 10 SMA, which acts like heavy resistance in a downtrend, and then if I have anything left, I'll sell at the 20, and then if it's really strong, I'll put my stop at the 10 SMA and like leave a third, and then just maybe we get the V reversal or something. If I stop out, I don't care. But I tend to get great entries, and then I'm taking profit. I'm taking profit when some folks are getting long because the trend lines are getting broken, right? So I'm taking profit into that usually. That is my trading style. Now what an interesting bar here on the ES. Not a lot of interest to sell into 54. That's interesting. You know what? As the volume increases, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of my market depth historical graph. We'll hide it. There we go. And neither do I care about my large volume trade indicator, because there's gonna be a lot of large trades. I'd rather just see this a little bit cleaner. And on time and sales, we're gonna aggregate this thing. I want to see orders larger than 50 get highlighted, and then I only want to see 25 lots or greater, and we'll not combine it here. All right. Oh, I don't want time actually anymore. No more time. Yeah, SAVA is just another one of these pump and dumps with Alzheimer's, potential Alzheimer's. I don't know. I don't know if you would call it a cure. But I tend to stay away from these biotech, because a lot of them just turn into stupid pump and dumps, and then like they when they die, and they don't bounce. So, and there's no shortable shares, so I'm stuck trading one side. No thanks. That's one of those I see dead traders. But what's the mantra that's going around? You don't lose money if you don't sell. Oh, jeez, that's just terrible. Let's see. Yep, right at that low volume node here. 50, 51 for GameStop. Let's see. But I'm patient. I'll buy when I see what I want. The bids are ready. Because the shorts do have to cover, but they could cover over a longer period of time. But at first tap of certain levels, you do get some short covering. The algos turn on. Oh, level hit. Cover up until this whatever point. That's how they work. Let's see. And then they compete with each other. There we go. Yeah. Looking at a trend line here on GME. Takes us right into like 48, 49. And then that just crushes a bunch of stops. They have not found the liquidity yet. I mean, it's all liquidity to the downside. Someone's buying here, but they haven't found the huge liquidity pocket yet. I think it's right at 48-ish. We'll see. Uh-oh, here we go. Six minutes left. Pump it. There's that order at 60, right? Scaring everybody. So what do we get? 58.75. There's that. What is the lot size? Let's see. It's essentially at 60. There's a 300 lot, a 100 lot, and a 40 lot. Those are the biggest lot sizes. The rest are all just 10 lots and 25 lots and 12 lots. And so you essentially have 400 lots there for sale, right? And then a bunch of small lot orders. So what happens when we get up there? Maybe some of them pull. We'll see. Yep, there they go. Some of them pooling. Useful to see ask market order data. Yeah, they're. All right, let's go look at the footprint here. All right. Well, let's see if I can get this study on fast enough. Come on, come on, come on. Unhide, apply, go. Okay, here we go. Stop runtime. Sometimes it's predictable, isn't it? Oh yeah, see? 2,000 contracts there. Yeah. 2,300 contracts. Okay, last 4 minutes. 3.5, 3 minutes. Let's see. Come on, we haven't hit any stops yet. liquidity up to at 65. What's at 65? Let's see. Yeah, 250 lot. The rest are, let's see, the next largest is 60 lot at 65. So, but let's see, is it out of gas? Let's see. Let's see if the deltas mean something today. Do they? I think so. Because there's liquidity. The last few days there was no liquidity, and the deltas were diverging. But now there's liquidity, so the deltas might mean something. We'll see. That's my thesis. God, I'd hate to be short right now. You can just see the price action. The short's just like, fuck, I'm wrong. I got to cover. My broker's calling in my margins. I'm on day trade margin. I'm 10 lots short. It's going to retrace. It's been retracing every fucking day. It's got to retrace. And then your broker says, you're over leveraged, my friend. We're getting you out of your position. And 10 lots is nothing for some of these idiots. Maybe it's 100 lots. So you have to have like really strict rules. If you have a smaller account, don't play near the close. Just don't. That's why you get these volatile moves, is because every day there are idiots that hold for too long. Oops. Come on, GameStop. There it goes. There it goes. Oh no! Yeah, ran into some profit taking. That's alright. Still gonna go. Liquidity. Boom! See, it didn't matter. 500 lots didn't matter. Yeah, there's profit taking right at 65.25, so it's a decent short. Let's see, 65, you can get in. Little retracement, 10,000. All right, there you go. What's the bar chart look like now? Excuse me. Oh, closing on the highs on the cash close. What? So now you get all the short-term traders who think volume on highs is bullish. And so what are they going to do? They're going to squeeze them. Maybe overnight, something like that. And probably the next few days, some profit taking. Because that, my friends, was profit taking at the highs. Volume on closes at the lows, good for upside. Almost always. Volume at the highs, at the close, not always good short term for downside, but the opposite is true. Volume on closes on the lows. Think T plus 2. I've been preaching that for like 1 year on Twitter, essentially. I've had so many people argue with me about it. It's like, oh, okay, well, whatever. Look at how price behaves the next week. They're like, oh, dang, that's a pretty good indicator. It's like one of the best. It's just fun flow. So read about T plus 2 if you can. Think about it. Think about the leveraged world that we live in as far as the stock market goes, and then apply what you read to understanding that a lot of these institutions are degenerates. They will just ride it. They will ride the trend as long as they can, as long as they have more margin. Kind of a shitty close on GameStop. It's not what I was hoping for. I wanted sub 50s. Oh well, we'll cancel that order. Let's see if they stop hunt them after hours. Or they won't halt it. That was a nice close though. But you know, I'm even happier to stay out of the close today. Despite craving some action, which is why I get on YouTube when I've made my goals for today and then some, and then, I mean, I love trading like the next guy who is obsessed with it. I mean, it's not a job for me, but so I like to be able to have some accountability, actually, like talk out loud my ideas, right? So that later on, I'm not saying like, yeah, well, I had three different mental scenarios and I was right because one of them happened. But, as we know, markets either what? Go sideways, they go down, or they go up. So that's it's not a very good way to reflect on your accuracy as a trader. I'd rather put it out there publicly and then have some accountability for the way I'm analyzing the markets. I don't know if that makes sense. But it does to me. I'm just rambling. Nobody's talking back, so, or typing back. Yeah, see that 65 handle is fine for shorting. But tonight could be squeezalicious. So you get a little retracement and a pop. Then it might make you some money for the next 15 or 20 points. As crazy as that sounds. Yeah, GME's interesting, isn't it? Let's see if my TD Ameritrade account is bought more. Yep, sure did. So the average on that is, yeah, 58. So it's underwater. That's okay. Highly volatile stock. You have to expect that and just size accordingly. But my main big boy account on IB is flat still here on GME. The TDA account, I just sort of scale into certain nodes, certain areas, and then wide stop, and I just don't pay attention to it as much. But the IB account, I'll probably go in with the bigger size and then tighter stop. It's just how I trade it. $52 was the low here after 51.98 on GME. Yeah, that close was weak. Yeah, see that? That red background's terrible. Maybe I should make it really dark red so that the deltas pop. This one here. Still gonna have a gradient, but let's see. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, that's better. Look at that 600 and let's see, what is it? That's a 493 lot at 6650. Let's see if they take it. What they like to do is there's just enough shorts looking to cover here. Yeah, they'll take it. Yep. The algos will play with that up until the last few minutes. Mostly they'll drop the bid away, but not much. There's this kind of move is just with all those deltas underneath. They'll probably just go ahead and eat it all. So the 493 went down to 349. So he's getting filled. Should I say she's getting filled? So yeah, this is just short squeeze heaven here. Oh boy. There you go, GME. 5190. Come on. Yeah. There's so much liquidity trap. This is... We might see 3680 into after hours. If market makers come out and set the price to, I don't know, 3870s plus, you're going to see a big short squeeze. That would be my guess. So after the 15-minute break in 3.5 minutes, that would be my guess. So that's probably what they're going to do. And if you're short, sorry, but it's just what I think. Because there's so much liquidity down there. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Professional traders could see what I'm seeing, so they're gonna be waiting to sell. Like you know. And there's so much more, these large players are so much are capitalized so much better than retail. They can, they're not nervous about holding a position. Whereas retail's like short term, like, ah, shit, I gotta get out. I'm losing too great a percentage of my account. So as long as they sense that, they will just keep not selling and providing liquidity on the bid side. So if you could recognize it, go with the flow. 2 minutes left. Let's see who's most panicked. I like to watch this because it often, the liquidity gets pulled a little bit, and so it often tells you a a little bit, kind of puts your fingers on the pulse a little bit. With the lack of liquidity, where does price want to go right now? Yeah, see, the liquidity is on the high side, so it's all on the ask side, but we're not pushing down, at least not right now. So thin bid side, thick ask side, yet price moves up. So we know something. I'm looking at, let's see here. Oh, why is that? Why did it not want to allow me to do that? There it is. I wasn't selected. So this is what I'm looking at. All right, thin bid side, thicker ask side, yet price moves up. That's what I'm seeing on my DOM. And then right here, this is all the 10 lots or greater orders. So there it is. And want to see what came off the book. Yeah. Look at the bid side. These are the bid pooled orders, right? So you could add these up, 100, 200, 225, 250 lots. So short term, just providing a little bit of liquidity. I've been trying to figure out, based on how price moves for a long time, because it keeps changing, how much liquidity these market makers are adding in Globex. And it seems to me it's 80 or 85% of visible liquidity, right? Because there's icebergs and HFTs firing off orders, etc. Because they are able to thin that book in milliseconds to get like a 4 or 6 tick, depending on ATR, of course, fill. It's pretty extraordinary. Oh, the family's home. That's part of why I do this, is like when the wife and kid go out, even though I'm like in my own office and I have noise canceling headphones, I have to turn up music, and then I can't concentrate quite as well when I have music playing in the background. So if I could turn it off or turn it low, I won't hear the kid running and banging into my office doors and running around the house like a crazy little, I don't know, kamikaze warrior. Yeah, I still got to get rid of that shade. Well, let's do that now. Anyway, if you guys don't have any more questions, then I will probably end the live stream here. And this video will probably be delisted. So that it doesn't reach as many traders, and the people that were here, hey, you get a little edge. Because that whole best bid, best ask thing it's actually pretty useful, especially in an environment where big traders are aggressive. So, all right, no questions. I think I have a 10-second delay. So anyway, have a good one, folks, and hope you all made money today. Take it easy.